Did you hear about Tennessee trying to legalize child marriage? Oh my God, I did. We have to. Oh, you guys think that's a joke. You think that's a goof. But so Tennessee Republicans. Now, I've made this joke before, and I'm not going to stop making it because it's funny to me every time. Tennessee Republicans have actually managed to construct the least piece of legislation in the history of the GOP. I know what you're thinking. Really? They really come that far? Well, not as far as most Republicans came when they saw the news. I'm sorry. Tennessee Republicans are moving forward with a bill that would eliminate age requirements for marriage in the state. The bill, HB 233, is scheduled to be heard in the House Civil Justice Committee on Wednesday and would establish common law marriage between one man and one woman, but it does not have a minimum age requirement. Opponents of the bill said it would open up the possibility of child marriages, which happen in Tennessee anyway, but the current age for marriage in the state is 17 with parental consent, according to WKRN. So basically, and I'm not kidding, in a culture war battle where Republicans are calling pro-trans and pro-gay people groomers, their hit back is, we're not letting you have your gay marriages, okay? We understand that a real marriage is between one man and one woman, the ages of whom are of no concern to us. Legally, this would allow a 3-year-old girl to be married to a 40-year-old man. That is not a joke. That's wholesome, traditional, big chungus, epic 100 lay Reddit marriage, according to the GOP. It's not a joke. I genuinely, I cannot fathom, like, literally, we're not letting you groomers destroy marriage for us. Hits the button that legalizes marrying 5-year-old girls. You know. Oh yes, it's very biblically accurate. Oh yeah, see, this is the end state of paleoconservatism here. You know, the tradcon ideal. You think they don't want their preteen trad wives? Of course they do. That's the only reason they want trad wives at all. Hasn't trad wife always kind of been a euphemism for, like, too young for a lot of people? Again, shoes here, don't mean to hate, but you know, it's like barefoot, pregnant, wears a sundress, but, like, let's be real, when a lot of very conservative guys with their traditional values, they talk about trad wives, you know, they mean they're just fantasizing about being like a farmer in, like, the 1400s when you could just be married off with a light dowry to a 14-year-old virgin. I swear to God, like, you look at how they talk about this stuff. Anyway, so all this bill does is give an alternative form of marriage for those pastors and other individuals who have a conscientious objection to the current pathway to marriage in our law. So this is meant to be an alternative route for marriage. Like, they can't change the federal recognition of marriage, including gay people, but they can create marriage 2, you know? You like marriage 1 so much, well, here's an extremely more marriage 2. Again, beyond parody. The bill's sponsor, Republican Rep. Tom Leatherwood. Really? That name, this bill? Okay. Is this close enough? Is this close enough to being nominative prescriptivism? Okay. There's no federal legislation in the U.S. regarding minimum age for marriage. We should fix that. I am learning that as I read this sentence right now. I assumed there was a floor on this. That there was a floor, just too low of a floor. Because I've heard about child marriages with 14-year-olds and shit, you know, in Alabama or whatever. I didn't know there was no floor. I guess the floor is the age of 0. We should make the floor higher. That's not really a floor. That's the bedrock at the bottom of the world. And states are allowed to set their own parameters. Currently, child marriage is legal in 44 states. Yep. And nearly 300,000 children were married between 2000 and 2018 across the country, according to UNICEF. We've talked about this before, but again, if you want to go by this state by state, this is legit, like, all Republicans. That's not a joke. Like, that's why they're, like, the whole QAnon, we're fighting pedophiles in the Democrat Party, and then they, like, turn around and have child beauty pageants and, like, vote for these people. Like, remember, what was it, Roger Moore, the guy with the 14-year-old girl, like, nearly won in Alabama? like very narrowly beat out the black lady. Yeah, it's a party. Conservatives are, they all love children. Roy Moore, not Roger Moore. Sorry, Roger Moore was one of the James Bonds. Roy Moore, yeah, genuinely revolting shit. 300,000. This is why people so high and mighty about America. Roy Moore said he didn't do it. Lol. Oh, I believe him. Thank you. Just, but you can go over all these state bills. It's legit like all Republicans. There are some blue controlled states. Yeah, so not literally 100%. Though I do think that even in the blue states, you'll see disproportionately Republican support for whatever like legal precedent allows for child marriages, basically everywhere, like almost without exception. A lot of this has to do, I think, with like rural culture, and I try not to talk down to rural people that much, but the child marriage stuff is more common there, let's be real. Anyway, Democratic Rep Mike Stewart, who was on the subcommittee that passed the bill, said that since there's no explicit age limit on the legislation, it could open up the possibility of covering child abuse. Really? Really? That is a possibility. Oh yeah, here we go. Global ratification of the UN Convention on the Rights of the Child, where we have countries in red that signed and ratified the convention and countries in yellow that never ratified it. Uh, when was this done? Was there a Republican in office? Let's just believe that it was like Reagan or something. He has to, appeal to his constituency. Also, Bill Clinton, as far as I'm concerned, is a Republican. I don't care. Oh, here's Tom Leatherwood. Apparently, that was in 2018. Oh, so it was Trump. Oh, okay. Wow. Who wants to get into the phrenology with me? Would anyone like to take close your eyes. Imagine politician. Open your eyes. Is there any difference now? Has what you're looking at changed? Same picture? Jesus. Should not be there is basically get out of jail free card. People who are basically committing statutory rape. Completely ridiculous. So it's another reason this terrible bill should be eliminated. The UN defines child marriage where at least one of the parties involved is under 18. The org says 1 in every 5 girls gets married before becoming an adult. That's worldwide. At least 12 million girls get married every year, and more than 650 million women around the world today were married as children, according to the organization. Frontline data shows girls are more likely to get married than boys while still minors. Between 2000 and 2015, almost 90% of children who got married were girls, and most were 16 or 17 years old. Children as young as 12 have been granted marriage licenses in South Carolina, Alaska, and Louisiana, while 13-year-olds have been married in 14 states. The Philippines have banned the practice. Only 6 states have banned child marriage, including Minnesota, Pennsylvania, Delaware, New Jersey, Rhode Island, and New York. May this number grow. What the fuck? Not California? As I excuse me. As I understand it, most of the states where it's legal, it's like one of those 17-year-olds can marry 18-year-olds type deals. Like it's one of those niche things, like edge cases, which I don't agree with, by the way. It's fucking marriage. Wait till you're 18. Like one of those Romeo Juliet type things. To get the really sussy shit, like 14, 13, 12-year-olds. A 12-year-old getting a marriage license in the United States. 12, can you... Republicans. I got to tell you, folks. QAnon, all projection. And remember that anti-child sex trafficking orgs have called out QAnon because QAnon, as well as Republicans generally, have turned pedophile and groomer into meaningless political labels that they can apply to liberals and to queer people. Listen, in the ideal world, for a Republican, is an adult man in a sexual relationship with an adult man where both of them are consenting, and a traditional marriage is them fucking their 13-year-old trad wife every night. That's the world they want to live in. To them, they don't want that to be. That's just traditional biblical marriage. Grooming is when children in high school realize they're trans and talk about it with their doctors. And what definitely isn't grooming is when they meet their business friend's daughter at the country club and get her drunk and ply her with alcoholic lemonade and then marry her when she's 15. That to them, they don't want that. They don't want that to be grooming. Meaningless terminology for them. And you can say that I'm being glib about it, but I really do want to reiterate that politics for a lot of these people is sending trans kids to mass graves and children. This high-minded liberal rootin' tootin', oh, we all have ideologies, this West Wing bullshit where we all care about the country and we all want to work together and we just disagree on how to do it. Complete bullshit. Some people are just evil. I'm sorry. Maybe they're evil for sociological reasons. They're not inherently evil. They could have been born under different circumstances and not have been. But a lot of people are just evil. They just want to kill minorities and fuck. That's literally just the thing that they want to do. Like, people are surprised by this. Go take a look at anti-civil rights protesters back in the 1960s. Like, head empty. Like, they just hate black people. What do you think they did? Disappear after the Civil Rights Act got passed? Like, what, they just got like Thanos snapped out of existence? They just vanished? No, obviously, of course not. They continue to exist, and a lot of people are just blindly, stupidly hateful, and really all we can do is politically suppress them, or if they act up, they find their way in the inside of a jail cell or 6 feet under dirt. That's all you can do sometimes. If anyone thinks that's hyperbolic, then that's how politics has worked for literally all of human history. The only people who pretend otherwise are hoity-toity liberals who genuinely believe that you can somehow, like, work with, like, this guy. Like, yeah, dude, like, yeah, you can work together to find a solution to the problems in America with this guy. Like, yeah, this guy's super interested in fixing the problem with the problems with America. Yeah, he's very, very engaged. He's very committed to that particular ontologically evil, blah, 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 blah. Just reading up on how John Rose, a Tennessee Republican politician, met his wife, 6th Congressional Commissioner for Agriculture. Oh boy. Chelsea Brooke Doss and John Williams Rose are engaged to be married on January 8th, 2011, First Baptist Church in Cookeville. The bride-elect is the daughter of Jeff and Beth Doss of Christiania, and the granddaughter of Dorothy and Delton. A native of Murfreesboro, she graduated from Eagleville High School in 2007, where she was a varsity basketball and softball player, student body vice president, FFA president, Beta Club vice president. She is Junior Rose Scholarship recipient, Tennessee Technological University, so on and so forth. Uh-oh. Oh, no. Like those Trump bits where you could go back in time. Oh, dear. Tennessee FFA president, 2 members of the Tennessee FFA, John Rose. Set aside $1 million. Programs Tennessee, plan of monetary support. Yeah. Guys get the gist, I think. Anyway, these people are very, 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 very concerned with fixing the problems in America. I bet he watched her playing sport. Oh, yeah. Probably. I don't even know what the fuck to say. Just keep it in mind. This is why I'm always very suspicious of those breaking points Jimmy Dore types who are like, we got to work together with the other side to solve the same problems. My brother in Christ, I really do not think a lot of Republicans, certainly not their politicians, care about the same problems as me. I do not. Listen, if Republicans want to get on board with unions and fair living wages and, whatever else we might be able to work together on, then Godspeed. I'll work with them on it. Fine. I won't turn away their support. However, I gotta say, they have other things in their mind, What is this guy thinking of, huh? Yeah, I don't know. All right, cut the segment. Stop.